What is going on, everybody? Alrighty, so did that quick little short video showing today's SPX entry that we took, and here's a breakdown on it. So I'm going to just show you a little clip of this morning's Zoom on how we saw the market, what we were looking for, and then I'm going to break down the price action, exactly how we were able to get into this and catch this 1 to 31 R to R trade. Yeah, I mean, this is the area. If I see a distro, ideally I want the distro here. If I see a distro there, but I need the distro. No limit. Yeah, there's no limit. Keep in mind, we can come. Stupid thing. Hold on. There you go. Keep in mind, we can come to here. So all right, so that's kind of how we were looking at it this morning. Now let's break it down. Right, what we were, or at least what I was kind of waiting for, was I wanted to see, essentially this break, which we got pre-market open. We got that break, and now I wanted us to ultimately just come back into our premium, right? If we know or understand that price has to come back to mitigate this move right here, that's ultimately what I was looking at. And, I wanted, you saw this morning, I wanted to wait for a schematic, and, that's what we got, right? We did get a schematic that ultimately presented itself. I know a couple of guys did take the entry off the schematic, right? And some other guys took it off just off a limit order. What I was personally looking for was, we have a 3-drive type 2 at this point here, right? You could see that you have drive 1, drive 2, drive 3, right? This coming back into 50% of our trading range. So it was enough for me to call that a distribution schematic. And going in lower time frame, this is where we really kind of just paid attention to it. At this point, this was, right around, what is that, 10:46 Eastern time. So 10:46 my time, well within my time that I want to take an entry on SPX. And we're in the right area, right? We're in that area to the left, which is maintaining the lower time frame leg. And here's just a screenshot, right? So here's the screenshot on the 1 second time frame. Actually, look at that. Imagine that, 10:47 a.m. my time, on the 1 second. This is what we see, right? We can see again a climax to a rally, to a secondary test, right? Secondary test comes down in. We get another, another secondary test here that gives us another potential MSAL, depending if it traded below here. And then ultimately, what do we get? We get our UTAD. Right. In our UTAD, I don't know if you see this on the 1 second, but you can bet that I was eyeing this, trying to catch it. We get a very, very clean 1 second distribution, right? You get a climax to a rally to a test, up thrust, and then a UTAD, right? So immediately off of this, what am I looking at? You can see I'm waiting for this break right here, because this would now confirm the distribution for me, right? The type 1. And then all I did was just measure out my UTAD. And you can see this is the 80% at 40.45.8 and 50% at 40.42.5, right? So that's essentially where I was looking to take my entry, right? Looking over to the second screen, how this ends up playing out, that's exactly what we took, right? You can see entry here off the 80%. There was one off the 50%. And this was the key, right? That wick right there that broke below this low. that allowed me to go ahead and play it. Now you could see, we ultimately did, I did attempt out of NASDAQ, same price action. We had a redistribution. You could see the distribution that comes in. There was an opportunity to take it out of the 80% and reduce your risk, right, as price gives it, but we never broke structure. So because there was no break of structure, unfortunately, this didn't survive, right? So it was either a small stop loss hit or a break even on it. But this is the one that really came in, right? The 80% entry right here, very, very clean. And at this point, all I wanted to do was break this low, where for me as a management under, what I was looking for was I was going to pay myself the risk of that trade and then ultimately target the lows down here. Right. So really, really clean price action. I would definitely go back and look at this. Again, we had an overall schematic here, right? You had a schematic that presented itself here with even a micro, super micro, if you want to call it, off the 1 second that was there. And then just fast forwarding to how it ended up looking, you can see, we get the trigger coming in here, price ends up confirming that. That's where I paid myself some risk. And just kind of showing, where price action came into, here's that, right? Here's that 1 second accumulation that I had identified right here. Very, very clean, right? Very, very clean right in here. And you can see what is price doing. Price coming back into the 80% is mitigating that. So I did have a small little order sitting right here off the 50% of it. Never got triggered. So no harm, no foul. It is what it is. And again, how I ended up managing this was, as price came in and triggered me in, right? Again, paid myself the risk right here. And as soon as we broke this low, essentially making this the new leg, all right, I paid myself now some partials. And this was sitting at a 1 to 31.43 minus spread, right? And where it's currently sitting. So I've taken off, me personally, I've taken off about 60, maybe like 65, 68% volume. I closed out two full orders and I just paid myself a little bit of the risk, and it's currently sitting, right around like 1 to 35. Bigger picture, what do I see, potentially happening? I mean, this is where we're at. We're just making, a, redistribution after redistribution after redistribution. So, I'm going to continue to play the redistributions until it tells me not to. Okay. So really good play on SPX. It's actually the only trade I took today. It was a really clean entry. I talked about last night, the US dollar Swiss franc buy that I took gave a really nice entry. So hopefully it all makes sense. And if you have any questions, hit it up in the comment section below. I wanted to make this really quick. So, hopefully everything makes sense for you on why we took it this morning, but really great entry, really great price action. With that, catch you guys on the next video.